Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Dr. Renee Sunday Show. I am your host. I am Dr. Renee Sunday, and I am the platform builder. So what I do is I help you with visibility, so you'll have visibility for your brand, for your business, and, of course, for your purpose. What we do that through podcasting, magazines, from television, speaking engagement, and, of course, writing a market-winning book. Because writing a book opens up so many avenues. Yes, yes, and yes. So that's what we do through our podcast and all the things that we do. The great thing is I have the experience of being a publisher. I have the experience of being a best-selling author in all my books that I have written. I have the experience of actually speaking on major stages and international stages. I have the experience of being on different podcasts and having my own. So I actually bring a lot to the table to help you be seen, be heard, and guess what, get paid. So what we're going to talk about in this session is how to be a media rock star with your business, brand, and your purpose. So let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Renee Sunday Show. Dr. Renee Sunday Show helps small business owners, entrepreneurs, that they can get wisdom, knowledge, and, of course, get that necessary education, proven strategies that you actually, you know the rest, be seen, be heard, get paid, so you can have a team on your telephone and through your different, whatever system that you're using that actually you collect your revenue. The thing about it is people need to realize that you increase your impact. Help others. Everyone says they love to help others. But really, what are you doing to help other people? You see what I'm saying? Because the thing about it is, if you increase your influence, your impact, it'll automatically increase your profit. You see what I'm saying? So if you are concerned with having the best customer service, it actually will follow you. Yes, yes, and yes, right? So I just want to let you know that. But what we're going to do just real quickly, we're going to actually we're going to get started. We're going to continue the conversation. So we're going to talk about the three things I want to talk about today. We're going to kind of talk about four, truly, but at least three things in its entirety. The people, so many people want to be a media rock star. So many people want to come from the behind the scenes, if you will, into, guess what? Into the fame and fortune. That's what they perceive. But the thing about it is people miss the important ingredient there. If you actually, you have to do some work. You actually have to put it to the ground. You have to don't stop, get it, right? You have to actually get the mentorship, the training. You have to take the classes. As we used to say in medical school, you have to burn that midnight oil. And that's what I had to do in medical school, to learn all the things that I need to learn and continue to learn to have the standard of care with each and every patient come in my midst. Yes, I still practice anesthesia. I've been board-certified anesthesiologist now for about 19 years. And I'm truly grateful for all the hats that I wear, from being an apostle, being a teacher, also being an assessor, of course, right? I'm an international speaker. I'm a publisher, as we said earlier, the media personality here for radio, TV, the magazine, children's book author, but I am, guess what, a servant. And so the information we're going to talk about today is very valuable, because in order for you to actually have profit for your business, your brand, and your purpose, you actually have to have these four things in place. First of all, whatever you do, number one, we have to make sure we have the right mindset. Yeah, people talk about that, but really, what are we doing behind the scenes? We have to have the right mindset. We have to, as I say all the time on social media and places I go, don't stop, get it. And the reason I have to say it, because you will have things that you need to go to plan B and C. Sometimes you may have to go all the way to the plan number G, not number G, but the letter G. You may have to go all the way out in regards to tweaking, changing the plan that you have set in place. Because a lot of things about it, I always look at when things don't work, guess what? That wasn't meant to be at that particular time or that situation. It was a better way of doing it, okay? But I learned from that, and I glean from that to make sure I have my ducks in a row, if you will. Make sure I actually have thought about the situation and get wise counsel. So what is your mindset? Are you want to be rich and famous, a millionaire, a billionaire? Are you going to actually help somebody else? Are you going to help someone go to college? Are you going to help someone that don't have something to eat? Are you going to help somebody when they're in need? Usually when you're grateful and have a grateful heart, willing to help somebody else, it always comes back to you 20-fold, okay? 100-fold. It really will. I'm a living witness on that. Amen. I'm going to say amen on that one. But the mindset, and then I actually myself, I went through the self-sabotage thing. Because, you know, you make 6 figures as an anesthesiologist. But being an entrepreneur, you go through major emotional changes in regard of, I shake people's hands. I'm Dr. Renee Sunday, the platform builder. And in 30 seconds, guess what? 30 seconds, I'm putting them to sleep for anesthesia. They don't. Sometimes I have people ask questions where I did my training. I have some people say that, where did I do my training? I look too young. You know, I like that one when they say that. But I also have people say, I've seen you somewhere before, especially if I'm doing anesthesia in the Atlanta area, because, you know, people have seen me on television now and just on different broadcasts. But the thing about it is, I'll always be humble. I'll always be grateful. But behind the scenes, I was self-sabotaging myself. Mine wasn't the fear of failure. Mine was the fear of being successful, because I know, unfortunately, so many people put people on a pedestal, and I sure don't want to be on a pedestal, okay? I sure don't. I'm going to say it one more time, because all of us have our uniqueness. All of us actually going through stuff. All of us actually put one leg pants on and another leg, okay? It's what we do with it in this 24 hours. You know, you probably have researched the things that people, millionaires, billionaires do before 10 o'clock. But they really, number one, is usually in there if they make sure they stay in the right mindset. If something doesn't work, they actually don't even categorize it as not working. They know they need to come up with an alternate plan. So personal development, that's what I'm talking about. Make sure you are doing that and doing it on a daily basis, okay? Because you have to stay focused, because there are people out there that's not going to like you. There are people out there that's going to say bad things. There are some people that's not going to want to even support you, because you know your brand is not for everyone. You have to concentrate on what your target market, okay? My target market is women. Women, usually professional women. Actually, let me be honest. I thought my target market when I was first, starting was like 47 to 52-ish. But you know what? I have to redo that, because my target market now, at the time that we're recording this, is actually 19 to 21. You hear me? And sometime up to 27. Because actually, they sense me as being the mothering type. That they believe that I will say the right information, that I won't give them the wrong information. So they have that like and trust. And you know, we have that like and trust, they will purchase your products and services. Right. Okay? But I have to make sure that I'm whole. I have to make sure I delegate well. That was the main thing that I was concerned with, and I had to deal with, coming from medical background 100% to now what I'm doing now as a serial entrepreneur. You see what I'm saying? Because in anesthesia, I'm not used to waiting on people to decide 5 years later they want to work with you, because I know my value, I know my confidence. So I also have to work on that for my own self, okay? Yes, I have to work on that, saying that I know I'm beautiful and wonderful. I know I give value. You know, the buzzword they use out there is being an expert. Because I'm not going to tell you anything that I don't know knowledge of. I'm not going to tell you. I will tell you if I'm doing a trial or a test, I'm going to say that this is a trial and a test that we're doing, okay? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you know that, and that will be reflective of how much we actually charge for the products and services. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So mindset is very important, because if you don't have the right mindset, you won't have the confidence, and entrepreneur confidence and entrepreneur confidence. I'm going to say it again. We have to have this for this journey, right? Because what we really don't realize is entrepreneurship is a journey. It's a lifestyle. Because if There's stuff going on in your personal life, your business, your brand, and your purpose. It's going to be stressful. It's going to be overwhelmed. You're going to be very stressful, and guess what? Your clients know that, okay? Because we do a lot of things down in front of the camera, pictures, videos, blogs. People will sense that through your writing. People will sense that through the posts and the videos that you actually do. You see what I'm saying? So mindset. Be looking out that I'm actually doing a class coming up shortly, a master class and a program about entrepreneur confidence. Entrepreneurship is a lifestyle. So be looking out for that we're going to actually give you great tips and information of actually how you can have that confidence when you're doing a podcast, confidence when you're having a TV broadcast, confidence when you're actually speaking on stage, the confidence when you're actually talking about your brand and your story. Because you know my story. I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama. Humble beginnings. But I actually went through bullying. I was called Olivore. I'm tall, as you know. If y'all don't know, I'm tall. So my plans was always too short. Okay? They always too short. And then I wore glasses, but I was always called a Sunday girl. I was always called a church girl. I didn't like that back then because guess what? I couldn't get in trouble, okay? And when I tried to get in trouble, the rules and the guidelines, guess what? They changed, okay? But anyway, overcoming and going through the bullying, my parents had to step in quickly and make sure they mentored me, and they actually gave me my basis is the word of God to base that I know that I'm beautiful and wonderfully made. So that's why I love speaking about bullying, because no matter what you say about me, I know who I am. I'm not being cocky by saying that, but I set the atmosphere of what's going on. I know I'm going to have clients. I know I'm a billionaire. I know I'm going to do the right things to make things happen. So you actually have to do that. So that entrepreneur confidence program is coming up. You'll be great, great, great. You have to get involved in that. But the next thing, so we're going to just talk just briefly. Let me get to number 2. The next thing to be a media rock star, one was mindset. Number 2 is you actually need to be on media outlets. Now let's talk about the first one is number 2 of this conversation is podcasting. Podcasting/radio, what I used to say. We had Good Deeds Radio. We're transitioning into the Dr. Renee Sunday show, which is a podcast. And I'm just so excited. This is so amazing that things that's going on, because actually you have to see what the trends are. You have to actually, with so many things that I do, this actually was a great fit. And I love doing radio, and I love doing television as well. And I love doing speaking. I just like being in my purpose, and that's what you have to have in your spirit. So podcasting. Podcasting is when you actually do similar to a radio, but there's so many different types of podcasts, right? So you have to know, if you want to be a featured guest, if you want to start your own podcast, you need to know all those information of what type of podcast it is. You need to know what's the function of it, what's your vision, what is your purpose, why are you doing it? Do you have the training? Do you have the right equipment? Do you have the intellectual property that you're going to talk about? What are your guests going to focus on? What type of interview style are you going to do? So all those things need to be taken care of. What kind of marketing are you going to do? But podcasting is an amazing way, and usually most of them are free, complimentary, but you actually have a tape, MP3 or MP4, that you actually can use in your marketing in the future to repurpose it. I teach my clients how to repurpose everything that happens with them in media. So that's what we have to realize. Podcasting. It's just a pretty much like a radio show program, but it can be different. And so you have to do your market research to know the difference in the podcast that you actually want to be a guest on, right? And see if you'll fit. Because if you're talking about, let's say, women empowerment, and you want to be on a podcast that talk about animal health, I mean, you may be an animal lover as well, but what are you going to focus on that platform? So all that needs to be hashed out before you actually contact, you hear me? Before you contact the media outlet, okay? Because they're going to want your one sheet. They're going to want to know what your website says. They're going to want to know what your social media, that you have social proof. All that information they actually don't want to know, okay? And actually, I have a class, master class that's coming up. First we're going to do a webinar, and the webinar actually is going to talk about in regards to the mechanics of a podcast. How do you contact the media outlet? What different, I have a checklist, and I have a lot of information about that. We actually have a program that's coming up of how, in a master class, of how to be featured guests that they actually ask you to come back over and over. But it's a strategy of how you can actually change the listeners on the podcast to customers. So we're actually looking out for that, and we're going to be actually doing that as part of our Be Media and Get Paid series, okay? And then also, the other thing I want to talk about in this conversation is magazines. You got to be in magazines. Magazines now, most of them is digital. We have a Good Deeds magazine. Most of them are digital. But it's still a lot of magazines out there that's printable. Good Deeds actually can be printed as well. But the key is you getting that exposure for your brand, for your business and for your purpose. Because you actually have to write an article. You may do a whole spread, and that you are actually the spotlight actually of the of the broadcast. You see what I'm saying? So the thing about it is we need to realize which one we're actually doing in regards of the broadcast. You see what I'm saying? So the next thing I want to chime in on is this. In regards to the magazine, you got to know what the magazine stands for. You got to know what the rules and regulations of writing an article, and you have to meet that deadline. It's a site called Help the Reporter Out. It's HARO, and it actually is major magazines and television and radio shows, podcasts that actually give you information, but you have to fit that what they're talking about. Because what if they contact you and they want you to actually be on their broadcast, and then you don't have the credentials to back that? So that's not going to be good. So magazines, research, there are still a lot of magazines out there in print. The old magazine is still print. Mostly the Essence is actually as well. As I said, Good Deeds, a lot of magazines are here in Atlanta, the Atlanta Tribune magazine, the Atlanta, I'm trying to think, even in the Atlanta Constitution, they actually have people blogging and that type of stuff on their website. So blogging and blogging with the B, meaning they're doing the blogging actually in regards of doing that via video. Okay? So there's a lot of opportunity that you can get marketing for your business, your brand, and your purpose. And guess what? A lot of it tends to be free. Yes. But you got to go by their rules and regulations in regards of what they require for they. Because the thing about it is when you're on somebody else's platform, the audience they are assuming that you guys are on one accord. So you cannot. Guess what? You cannot misrepresent them. Of course, you won't be back. And sometimes I've seen them stop the whole interview if you're saying something that's against, the audience or any of the things that they stand deeply about. Okay? So the next thing is I want to talk to you about is, because we time go by so quickly, doesn't it? The next thing we want to talk about is, and if you want to actually be a contributor for the Good Deeds magazine, or you want to be on the spread, the cover, contact us. And if you want to advertise your business or your brand or the things that you're doing in your organization, contact us at reneesunday.com. That's RENEE Sunday, SUNDAY.com. Now, the next thing is speaking. Everybody wants to be a public speaker, but people don't want to take the training to be a public. Because there's different formats of speaking. It's like the intro, what you're going to talk about in the body, the exercise. You're going to get the people so they're going to remember you, and then your clothes. I had to work on that clothes. I really did. I just be totally transparent. And the thing is, you have to be a forever learner in things. Because knock on wood, I'm a natural talker. I don't have the spirit of gab that people say but I'm a natural talker, and then being in ministry, I do preach, and then the thing about it is, but depending on what setting you're in, you actually have a different format of speaking. You have a different package that you offer. Depending on what setting you're in, what time of year it is. All of that is very important. You see what I'm saying? And most people don't know that. Most people will offer a product and it's the wrong audience. Sometimes it's best just to get people on your email list and that's it. So it's a different strategies, and we'll be going through that. I also have a class that's coming up about that, about in regards to speaking, because it's a format of it. It's actually a way to find how do you find speaking engagement, how do you actually prepare for them, how do you actually do a checklist, what do you wear to when you speak. It depends, you know. And then there's certain questions you ask the person when you've been, if it's a paid event, if you paid to speak, it's a lot of information there in regards of what are the particulars in regards of speaking. You see what I'm saying? So all that is very, very important to be successful, and of course being possible. As we said, we need to be seen, be heard, guess what, and get paid, right? And I have to throw in a bonus here that we didn't mention. You know, it's still important to be vendors at different events. A lot of people have stopped being vendors, and I'm talking about vendors buying a table, and also we want to throw in the swag bag, because sometimes they only like $10, $15, $25, but the key is you got to have those marketing promotional items like a postcard, a bookmark. You have to have those available. And most time when you order those items, the more you order, the cheaper it usually is. So me personally, sometimes, depending on what project I'm working on, I may order 1,000. I may order, I think, 500 at one time. So it's depending on what project I'm doing. But I always like to have promotional packages, promotional for each one of the books and the products and services that I do, so I'll be ready. Because actually, even 2 days ago, a young lady inboxed me, wanted me to be part of an event. And see, I only had 2 days to get prepared. So if I had to order something, it could have been done. I could have went to one of the local printer places here in Atlanta and got it done. But it's always good to have things on ready. Be ready. You see what I'm saying? You know, like this is they say, get ready, but we need to be ready on certain things in regards to our business. Especially, let me say this, especially when you're on television. Sometimes they call you the night before. Sometimes they may call you the morning of because they had a cancellation. But you have to be ready. You really do. In regards to how you're going to be looking, what you're going to wear, and those type of things, you have to be ready. Usually they, knock on wood, I don't know, not all the networks, but usually they have makeup and those type of things. But you have to be also ready to be makeup ready if they say that they don't supply that. It's a lot goes on to building your brand, because the thing about it, that visibility is very important, because if you're being seen, being heard, and guess what, getting paid, you actually you leveraging your brand. And there's a lot of different ways of doing that. And I'm actually going to give you a Be Seen, Be Heard, Get Paid series. We're going to be talking about, the first one is the featured guest. Also, the links are below for all the things that's coming up in regards to that. If you want to start your own podcast, we can have a conversation about that to see if this is what you really want to do. We actually have checklists. We actually have like a handbook and workbook that actually can give you advanced techniques of how you can actually master this, so you can actually be in that group and not sabotaging yourself behind the scenes and saying, why is this happening to the other person and it's not happening to you? So it's your opportunity. It is your time that you actually can be seen and be heard, and then you'll have that cheese and a cheese and a cheese coming in, you know, after your when you're on your cell phone. Now, advertise on these different platforms. You know, advertising is still very important. Advertise your business. We actually have advertising packages with the Dr. Renee Sunday Show. You know, go to our website, reneesunday.com, and you'll get that information. Fill out the contact form, and we'll send you that information. If you want a 30-second or a 15-second slot on the radio show to advertise, there's certain guidelines you have to go about that in regards to broadcasting rules and regulations. but also you can be in the magazine. Also, you can be in a television show. So there's so many different avenues that you can explore. But the thing about it is you have to, as Steve Harvey says, you have to take that step. You have to take that leap of faith. You have to step off the cliff. And literally, that's a figure of speech, meaning that you need to step out on faith. As Dr. Martin Luther King says, if you see the first step, don't worry about the staircase, because it will be revealed as you go, right? And then also, Jack Canfield says, go as far as the headlights of your car can take you. Then something will be revealed as you continue to go. And we know we experience that when we drive our vehicles at night, or even in fog, or even in a winter climate. So that's the things that I wanted to review. Just to recap, we talked about how to be a media rock star with your business, brand, and purpose. The things that I covered was, one, you have to make sure you're in the right state of mind. We need to make sure we have our mindset and not behind the scenes sabotaging ourselves because we feeling like we're not worthy. We feeling like we don't have the right resources. We feeling like we don't have a team. We feeling like we don't even have the right things in place. So don't have that. You have to get a mentor and coach. I am a certified coach trainer as well. So you can be certified as a media coach, a life coach, and also a grief counselor. So it's always avenues and things. And go by your local small business association. Every place has them. It's a lot of resources. And we have it made. I said this to the interns today. We have it made because back in the day, we had to go to the library to research all this stuff all day. You see, when the library closed, we couldn't finish our research. Then the computers were huge as I don't know what, and not too many people had computers. Then we have laptops, and now we have a device in our hand. And if we have a watch that we can actually, and I heard someone's coming out with it's maybe already out, a computer that's on your glasses. So we have a lot of technology, and we need to take advantage of that in the positive way, that we can actually let someone know that they actually can walk in their purpose as well. And then the last thing, we talked about mindset, we talked about podcasting, we talked about being in a magazine, we talked about speaking, and of course we always have to say you need to have a market-winning book. So the story of your life, the things that you're doing in your business, you need to have a market-winning book because it actually opens up avenues for you to do all what I said above, speaking, being in magazine, and podcasting. Because people do not do business cards like they used to do back in the day. Having a book opens up doors. It does. It does. If you craft it the right way, it actually do that. And if you're thinking about writing a book, you don't know where to start, we actually have a checklist for that. Go to our website again. Just hang out at our website, ReneeSunday.com, okay? That's RENEE Sunday, SUNDAY. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the broadcast today, to the Dr. Renee Sunday Show. This where we actually going to give you wisdom, knowledge, that you become aware and you're educated, that you can make wise decisions in your business, your brand, and your purpose. If you want to be a guest, go back to that website again, ReneeSunday.com. If you want to actually start your own podcast, go there as well. We actually have set up a free consultation that we can chat about it. And then, of course, if you want to go all the way and do your own magazine, your own TV show, start your own publishing company, same website, and we'll actually get that done for you. And actually, if you want me to actually be a speaker to facilitate any events that you're having on the minister side, I can actually marry people in regards to weddings. Yes, I just excited. I love it being a wedding, being able to marry people. It's an honor from God. And then also, if you want me to be a speaker at your corporate events, I also MC red carpet events. I MC events. So I'm just very grateful that media is my thing. I look back when I was 18 months old. My mom and dad took a picture of me with a rotary phone, which most people now, the millennials, don't even know what that is. And they was predestined me that I actually would be in media, that I actually be the one that can talk, that actually can help someone come closer to their destiny. So I want you to know, please check out our website, reneesunday.com. And I have to let you know, if you feel stuck, if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel like you can't make it, just give us a call. I am a physician as well, and I can actually help you get information in regards to that, in regards to mental health, in regards to stress, depression, anxiety, having feelings that you and hearing stuff that you hadn't used to hear, okay? So I actually can help you with that as well. But I always want you to know that you do have a calling. You have a reason you were born. You're not a mistake. I'm saying we, because that's true. We have to do three things. We have to believe, we have to trust, and we have to walk it out. So we have to make an action in this thing, okay? And we got to don't stop. What? Get it. And what are we getting? We're getting our purpose and getting our purpose now. This is Dr. Renee Sunday, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Dr. Renee Sunday Show. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.